GURPS polearms. Now there's some interesting tactical advantages to using a polearm, and in GURPS, and it's mimicked to reality, of course, being a simulationist kind of game. It's pretty realistic the way they handle polearms, and I was just going to run over a bit of a example today because I think they're a lot of fun. The tactical options they open up with your teammates is a lot of fun. In this case, say we've got Sir Charles here, a knight with a sword and a shield, and we've got Sir Wallen here with his spear. Looks like he's got a long spear here, maybe. These guys engage a size +1, so that'd be like a large creature. This illustration works great with larger creatures, but it would work with any normal-sized creature as well. If these guys attack like this, keeping Sir Charles in the front with his shield and sword, Sir Charles is free to all-out defend against the attacks of this thing. Sir Wallen's spear attack, he has up to a 3 square or hex reach. 1, 2. He can reach this guy, no problem, right over the shoulder of Sir Wallen. This guy, so Sir Charles is taking all-out defense maneuvers, so he gets bonuses to his defense, and he does not return strike. That allows Sir Wallen to forfeit any defense, any need for defense, and he can all-out attack. So in tandem, they're creating defensive wall, attacking wall. The damage on polearms, poleaxes, spears is pretty significant. They're the most damaging weapons in the game pretty well, and rightfully so. So this guy is going to be able to do, even with his all-out attack maneuvers, he can do 2 attacks, or he can do 1 strong attack for extra damage, or he can do 1 determined attack for a bonus to strike on the ogre, we'll say. The problem starts to be because of the ogre would have cover because he's effectively standing behind the knight, Sir Charles. In GURPS, GM discretion, you can handle that different ways. Typically, though, you would just eliminate the ability to strike the ogre's legs, because him being taller, the torso, neck, head, and arms will be above Sir Charles. So Sir Wallen is free to strike at those locations without any negatives. If he goes for the legs, then he may suffer a -2 accordingly. That's the hit to hit modifier if you're trying to hit the legs. So if they're hidden, then that's a -2 as well, additional. But with that distance between them, Sir Wallen feeling completely safe from the attacks of this thing, if he has reach, they may even want to drop back here if this thing has a 2 reach, for instance. Sir Wallen would still have range, able to attack this guy, because those polearms are 3, usually 3. Some are shorter, but he could make use of that 3 range reach on that polearm. A lot of fun. Leaving him to, like I say, he can take the determined attack and take bonuses to strike to offset shots like face shots or head shots. He can start just stabbing the ogre in the face. Say the ogre now gets through the defenses of Sir Charles and beats him down. And he's down. He's down and out. And the ogre starts closing on his turn. This gets interesting because you can back away and hold your guard, basically, with your polearm. Let's do 2 different scenarios. The ogre will say, in the case where the ogre has a slower basic speed, that would give him slower initiative always to the pikeman. The pikeman can always just say, okay, I forfeit my turn, and I'm going to wait, brandishing my weapon, keeping my weapon in between. Say he keeps at the, well, it doesn't matter. He can hold his spear at that distance. He says, I will wait to see what the ogre does and react accordingly. Ogre says, okay, I'm going to stomp up and chomp you, or club you with my large club. He goes for the move here, and this guy is able to interrupt him. So he says, okay, on my turn, I'm going to back away. Moving backwards costs twice the movement point. So if he had 6 movement points, he'd only go back 3. 1, 2, 3. And the ogre would then be forced to spend all his turn, spend all his movement, 1, 2, 3, up to catch up to him, and then attack at a minus for running and attacking. Or he would be forced to do, the other option is a all-out attack if he had the movement, so that he would give up his defense. Either way, not great. So in this situation, if you've got the initiative, and like if you're quick and you've got a pike and you've got the reach, you are quite hard to handle. You can just keep, as long as you have the ground to give. That's where things get dicey and realistically so not viable in dungeons if you're using a halberd or a long spear. But if you're outside, you can just keep giving ground and getting your shots in. So in this case where he moved back and the ogre spends all his time moving up, he would attack at a -4. Ogre probably got a club skill of 13. He needs a 9. There we go, a miss. He's very unlikely to hit when you're moving and attacking in GURPS. Then this guy. Now this is a trouble though. If the ogre spent his turn, all his movement, to get right up and close on Sir Wallen, Sir Wallen is now holding his pike at, 2? At 2 distance, at reach 2, or reach 3 for that matter. Let's say it was at 2. It takes him 1 turn to adjust his grip on the pike. He is able to fight technically at any range from 1 to 3 with that pike, but it does take him a second to choke up on the spear. So in this turn, he will be forced to choke up on his spear, and he may want to give ground and change his grip, or he can step back and strike. Since he had the grip at 2, in this case, he could step back 1 for free and make a normal attack on that ogre at no penalty. So that's the big bonus. If he can just keep giving ground and stabbing, step back and stab, this guy keeps having to catch him. That would be a hit, assuming he has an equal skill of 13. But this guy now can step up and club him. So it's a tactical decision every time you step away. If he had have stepped, used perhaps his full move to just step backwards, 2, 4, 6, that's his movement, and he could adjust his grip to be perhaps 1 in preparation for the charging ogre, because we know he's gonna 1, 2, 3. Do we know? We don't know. It's a gamble. He charges up. He gets his shot at the brutal -4 because he ran and swung. And that would be a miss, just barely. He would get his counter strike, his attack without any modifiers. So that's how that can work. It gets dicey. It's not always, if you don't have somebody in front of you keeping your foes off of you, they can get inside your reach, and then you're in a bit of trouble because you do have to adjust your reach. You can't hit somebody who's beside you and your pike is sticking out past them. Maybe you can whack them for a bit of club damage, but GURPS holds you to that. You have to change your grip accordingly, and that takes your turn. You can move around a bit while you do it, but that's the interesting part for why you would want to say we're fighting a rogue character who's quite fast. The guy with the polearm wouldn't stand much of a chance because he can just keep getting inside. He could probably move faster as well, so the pikeman backing away, the rogue, the fast swashbuckler type even, would keep closing faster than he could back up and change his grip. So effectively giving the rogue free shots on the pikeman. He'd have to drop his pike and draw a knife or a short sword in that case. But that's how it can look rolling through an example in GURPS using polearms. There's a lot of intricacies and tactical decisions to be made in some cases. Anyways, other cases it's just stand and stab behind your shield wall, which is basically what the polearms are designed to do, I think. So that's a lot of fun. Polearms, roll on.